The moment you step into a well-designed open-concept home, something shifts. It is not dramatic, more like the release of a breath you did not realize you were holding. There are no unnecessary walls funneling you through the space. No corridor that shrinks before opening into a room. Just a single, continuous environment where light travels the full length of the floor plan, and the kitchen, the living area, and the dining zone exist not as separate destinations but as one quietly generous whole. It is the kind of spatial experience that is genuinely difficult to articulate but immediately felt, and once you have lived within it, the return to compartmentalized rooms can feel like a step backwards. Luxury open-concept homes are not simply open, they are designed with a deep intelligence about how people actually move, gather, and live. In this episode, we move through the full spectrum of what makes a seamless open floor plan home truly exceptional in 2026, from marble waterfall kitchen islands and double-height great room design to minimalist open living spaces, contemporary open dining layouts, luxury entertaining areas, and the premium material foundations that hold it all together.
Before we delve into our exploration, allow us to extend a warm welcome back to Amica Studio. For those joining us for the first time, we invite you to subscribe for more captivating insights into home and interior design inspiration.
Modern open-plan home marble kitchen islands, high-end materials, and seamless indoor living spaces. Natural stone flooring, warm wood paneling, integrated appliances, layered ambient lighting, and high-end upholstered furnishings are not treated here as separate decorating choices but as a unified design language, spoken consistently from one end of the home to the other. That consistency is what separates a beautiful open plan from one that is simply large. Whether you are currently planning a luxury new build, midway through a renovation that has you reconsidering every structural wall in your home, or simply drawn here by the pleasure of spending time in well-designed spaces, what follows is for you. The ideas are not prescriptive. They are invitations. Each space is an opportunity to ask what your own home might feel like if it were given a little more room to breathe, a little more material honesty, and a little more trust in the power of light moving freely through a beautifully considered plan. One. Luxury great room design ideas, when scale and warmth finally agree. Open-plan great room furniture, how oversized sofas and layered rugs make large spaces feel like home. The most common mistake in luxury great room design is treating scale as the goal rather than the constraint. A large room that is furnished proportionally will always feel cold, its dimensions acknowledged but never addressed. The interiors that work are the ones that furnish generously and deliberately, using oversized sectional sofas in boucle or deep pile velvet to provide the visual and physical mass that a significant room demands. These pieces do not fill the space, they command it, creating a clear living zone that feels defined and warm rather than adrift in square footage. Beneath them, a statement area rug, or two layered rugs if the scale permits, grounds the composition and softens the acoustic quality of a room that might otherwise feel echoey. Double-height living room chandelier design, statement lighting that transforms vertical space into a feature. A double-volume living room presents an architectural gift that most interiors squander by not knowing how to light it. The answer, almost always, is a chandelier with enough scale and character to justify the vertical space it inhabits, not one that hangs timidly from the ceiling, but one that descends through the room's full height with genuine presence. Cascading crystal forms that distribute warm light across a wide radius, architectural geometric metal structures that assert the room's contemporary identity, or organic sculptural glass pieces that introduce an almost biological quality to the overhead space. Each approach makes the same fundamental point, that the ceiling in a double-height room is not empty space to be tolerated, but a designed surface to be inhabited. Through the day, natural light plays through the fixture's reflective forms in ways that shift with the hour and the season. Two. Open concept luxury kitchen living, the space where every day actually begins. Marble kitchen island as the social and visual anchor of the open-plan living space. In a luxury open-concept kitchen, the island is never just a surface, it is a position in the room. Placed at the center of the open plan, a statement marble kitchen island becomes the point around which everything else organizes itself, the cooking zone behind it, the dining area ahead, and the living room beyond that. Waterfall quartz countertops, where the stone continues uninterrupted down the island's sides to the floor, replace the visual clutter of an exposed edge with a clean, sculptural continuity that reads as architecture rather than cabinetry. A flush induction cooktop, discrete pendant lighting calibrated to the island's width, and a row of leather or boucle bar stools on the social side complete a composition that works equally well for a solitary Tuesday breakfast and a Saturday evening with guests. Kitchen lounge corner design, turning the open-plan kitchen into a full lifestyle environment. A kitchen lounge hybrid is one of the most meaningful upgrades an open-concept layout can offer, and one of the least discussed. Positioning a curved accent chair, a compact sofa in a warm neutral, and a low-profile coffee table just beyond the island's reach creates a social zone where guests can be fully present without occupying the workspace. The host remains in view throughout, preparing, plating, pouring, without the gathering shifting into the kitchen itself. Textured natural fiber rugs define the boundary between hard kitchen flooring and upholstered seating, softening both the visual and acoustic transition between zones. A dedicated ambient lighting layer, separate from the task lighting above the island, allows the lounge corner to shift its mood independently as the evening progresses. The result is a kitchen that accommodates the full breadth of modern daily life: remote work in the morning, casual mid-afternoon use, effortless open kitchen entertaining by night, all without a single spatial compromise. Three. Contemporary open dining kitchen layout, the zone that holds the social floor together. Open-plan dining room design, creating a defined social zone within a seamless floor plan. Defining a dining area within an open-concept floor plan without resorting to walls or partitions is one of the more elegant spatial challenges in contemporary interior design, and when it is solved well, the result is a zone that feels both distinct and inseparable from the whole. A marble or stone-top dining table whose finish echoes the kitchen island countertop creates an immediate material connection between the two zones, reinforcing the open plan's visual continuity across the full social floor. Upholstered dining chairs that are generous in seat depth and thoughtful in fabric choice signal that meals here are never rushed. A cluster of pendant lights lowered to an intimate height above the table provides the zone's defining overhead gesture, creating a boundary of light rather than structure. Dining room pendant lighting ideas for open concept homes, warmth, focus and atmosphere in one fixture. The pendant lights above a dining table in an open concept home are doing two jobs simultaneously, and the best choices understand both. At close range, they provide focused, flattering illumination for the people and surfaces beneath them, at a color temperature warm enough to soften the room and encourage the unhurried quality that good meals deserve. At a distance, viewed from the kitchen or living area, those same fixtures contribute to the broader visual composition of the open floor, their form, material, and drop height part of the room's overall aesthetic statement. Glass globe pendants in warm amber tones, matte metal cylinders at varying heights, or organic rattan shades that introduce natural texture, each addresses the dual brief differently while achieving the same atmospheric result, a dining zone that feels deliberately intimate within an expansive open plan, and genuinely different in character from the spaces that surround it. Four. Premium kitchen island design, where material craft becomes the room centerpiece. Waterfall kitchen island countertop ideas, continuous stone surfaces that elevate the entire open plan. The waterfall countertop succeeds because it resolves a visual problem that most kitchen islands quietly suffer from: the exposed side. When a stone surface ends at a right angle and reveals its edge and substrate, it reminds you that you are looking at a constructed object. When the same stone continues, in a single, unbroken plane, down the full side of the island to meet the floor, that reminder disappears. What remains is a sculptural statement in natural material, the veining of marble, quartzite, or large-format porcelain slab running from the horizontal worktop surface to the vertical face to the floor in one continuous sweep, communicating both the quality of the stone and the precision of its installation. Integrated kitchen appliances for open-plan homes, concealing function to let the design speak. Appliance integration in an open-concept kitchen is less a luxury choice and more a spatial necessity. In a closed kitchen, an exposed refrigerator or a freestanding range has enough architectural separation from the living areas to exist on its own terms. In an open-plan home, those same objects are visible from the sofa, the dining table, and often the entrance, which means their visual identity becomes part of the room's overall composition. Concealing the refrigerator behind a custom panel that matches the surrounding cabinetry, specifying a flush induction cooktop that reads as a continuation of the stone countertop, and choosing a panel-ready dishwasher that disappears entirely into the kitchen surface are not merely aesthetic decisions. They are acts of spatial respect, ensuring that the open plan's visual rhythm is never broken by the presence of equipment that belongs to a different aesthetic register. Five. Luxury open-plan entertaining, designing a home that makes hosting feel like second nature. Home wine bar and beverage station design, integrated entertaining features for the open-concept kitchen. The most gracious homes are the ones where hospitality feels uncontrived, where the host moves easily, the drinks are always accessible, and the social space never requires anyone to disappear into a back room to refill a glass. A well-positioned home wine bar or integrated beverage station within an open-concept layout is the physical infrastructure of that ease. Glass front cabinetry with backlit shelving turns a wine collection into an ambient display feature, warm, inviting, and legible from the dining table. An under-counter wine refrigerator at the correct temperature, a discrete preparation surface for cocktails, and a position near both the dining and lounge zones ensure that hosting requires movement measured in steps rather than rooms. These are the kind of design decisions that guests rarely notice consciously but always feel, the invisible architecture of a home that seems to look after everyone within it without apparent effort. Flexible open-plan seating for entertaining, adaptable layouts that work for 2 or 20. The open-plan home's greatest social advantage is its capacity for adaptation, and the furnishings that best exploit this quality are the ones designed to move, extend, and reconfigure without drama. A modular sectional sofa whose pieces separate and reposition as needed, a dining table with a concealed extension leaf that increases capacity when the occasion demands, and a collection of upholstered ottomans that serve equally well as additional seating, footrests, or surface-level trays. These choices transform the open floor plan from a fixed domestic stage set into a genuinely responsive environment. Layered textiles warm the space regardless of how the furniture is arranged, and a thoughtfully zoned lighting system, island pendants, dining cluster, lounge ambient, occasional accent. Six. Modern minimalist open living space design, restraint as the highest form of luxury. Minimalist open-plan living room ideas, low-profile furniture and unbroken sightlines that free the space. Minimalism in a luxury open-plan home is not a design style so much as a spatial discipline, and the rewards of that discipline are immediately visible in the quality of light, the sense of scale, and the ease with which a room communicates its own confidence. Low-profile sofas with long, horizontal silhouettes keep sightlines open across the full breadth of the open floor. Floating media units that leave the floor plane visible beneath them reinforce the spatial generosity of the room. Streamlined open shelving holds only what genuinely earns its place, each object chosen for its material quality and its contribution to the composition rather than for sentimental convenience. The palette operates in warm neutrals, off-whites, soft grays, creamy linens, honed stone surfaces, and matte plaster walls that absorb light rather than bouncing it harshly. Sculptural home decor for minimalist interiors, objects that earn their place in a restrained open space. In a minimalist open-concept living space, the decorative weight of a single well-chosen object is disproportionately large, which is simultaneously the discipline's greatest challenge and its most powerful design tool. A large-format ceramic vase on a console table, placed with the same care as a piece of gallery sculpture. An abstract stone form on a coffee table that rewards a longer look. One significant artwork positioned at the point where the eye naturally arrives after scanning the room. These are not accessories, they are the room's moments of personality, its evidence of a particular taste and a specific sensibility. Honed stone, raw blackened metal, and hand-thrown ceramic introduce a quality of human craft that prevents minimalist interiors from feeling remote or institutional. 7. High-end materials for open floor plan homes, the foundation that makes everything else possible. Natural stone flooring for open concept homes, the material that unifies every zone without flattening them. Flooring in an open floor plan carries a structural responsibility that most other material choices do not. It must work across kitchen, dining, and living zones without interruption, providing visual cohesion across the entire social level of the home. Natural stone flooring, travertine, honed limestone, or large-format porcelain slab in a stone finish, meets this responsibility with a combination of consistent character and subtle variation that engineered materials rarely replicate. The tone stays broadly unified, anchoring the open plan visually as a single space. But the natural variation within the stone, slight shifts in color, texture, and veining from tile to tile, introduces enough depth and visual interest to prevent the floor from reading as repetitive or institutional. Wood paneling and custom millwork for open concept interiors, organic warmth that stops the space feeling clinical. If natural stone is the open concept home's foundation, cool, authoritative, enduringly elegant, then warm wood paneling is its counterpoint, the material that introduces organic character, tactile variation, and a quality of human warmth that stone alone cannot provide. A walnut feature wall in the great room, oak ceiling beams that lower the perceived height of a double-volume space to something more intimate, custom millwork built into the kitchen cabinetry in a complementary timber, each element introduces the same essential quality, the irreplaceable visual richness of natural wood grain, responding to light in ways that shift through the day and deepen over time. Coclusion. What remains after time spent in spaces like these is not an inventory of beautiful finishes, though the finishes are genuinely beautiful. It is a feeling. The specific quality of ease that settles into a home where the layout was designed around the way people actually live, moving freely between cooking and conversation, from one zone to the next without transition costs, in a space where light has unobstructed room to do its work and where the architecture itself seems to be a quiet participant in every moment that takes place within it. The The ideas gathered here are not meant to be translated wholesale into your own home. They are meant to shift something in how you see it. Perhaps a single wall whose absence would change everything. A lighting layer that is currently missing from a room you spend time in every day. A material choice that would bring more warmth, more honesty, more of what you actually want a space to feel like. The most significant improvements to open-plan living are often the most conceptually simple, and the gap between the home you have and the home you want is rarely as wide as it appears from the outside. Take what resonates. Leave what does not. And return to the spaces that made you pause, because what drew you to them is almost certainly something about the way you want to live, and that is always the right place to start. Openness is not a floor plan. It is a decision about what kind of life a home is built to support.